everyone, and welcome to That Oil Show. We're so glad to be here with you today to talk about NingXia Red.
Yay!
Yay! We love it. We love it. Everybody's like making their NingXia dance. Okay, yes, we have our NingXia dance. It is that amazing. And so many people get started in their young living journey with NingXia Red. And so that's why we want to highlight this show to learn, what is it? You know, why do we need it every single day? And we're also going to talk a little bit about Nitro, because it's another one of our NingXia products. And don't drink it yet, ladies. Everybody's like, Right before we started, we actually had some people didn't know that they weren't supposed to drink it yet. So they're like,
For me. It was intentional, so I could get another NingXia.
Oh, Nitro.
Strategic.
Nitro. It was strategic, I think, maybe. Okay, so of course we have in our beautiful roundtable panel some of our resident science experts.
Nerds.
Yes, I think to some extent all of us are nerds when it comes to our oils and products, because we love to learn about them and how they help our bodies. But NingXia Red is particularly important for every single person in the family. And why is that? Does anybody want to get started sharing?
It's regenerative and it supports the healthy inflammatory response. That's where we start.
And it's a huge antioxidant boost for for the health of your whole family. I mean, antioxidants are a part of a normal life. Or I should say, your antioxidants are a part of healthy food, but you need them to combat a normal life. The things that happen in your environment, the things that you take in, breathing creates free radicals in your body, which you need antioxidants to replace and to combat free radicals. So
basically, free radicals, if you're like, okay, what in the world is a free radical? Because you hear that term a lot when you're talking about antioxidants, and in particular with our NingXia Red. So free radicals, they basically are causing your cells to die faster, is really what they're doing. They're looking for an extra electron. They're going after healthy cell structures to steal an electron, right? And so then, but then those cell structures begin to fall apart, and so they oxidize, or rust. I mean, there's lots of different ways that we can explain this, but just as Talia said, in life, like, you're constantly in the environment, there's toxins, there's things that you breathe in, that you put on your skin. There's even just normal metabolic functions produce free radicals that, if there's not an antioxidant to come along and say, hey, I've got what you need, and then the antioxidant comes in and actually deactivates that free radical, so to speak. It kind of neutralizes it. It neutralizes it, and so now it doesn't have a negative effect on your cells and those healthy cell structures. And so the more antioxidants that you bring in, especially through your diet, that's how we get them, through the good foods that we eat, and then through our supplementation, such as NingXia Red, that brings in all those antioxidants to neutralize the free radicals. And so you have vitality, you have just a healthy, happy, longer life is what we all want. And so there's been all sorts of wonderful medical studies and research that's been done on the NingXia wolfberry. And this is Young Living's organic dried wolfberries. They come from the Ningxia province in China. And they're a very specific type of wolfberry, or Lycium barbarum. And it's a power-packed superfood full of all sorts of wonderful nutrients, but it's super high in antioxidants, a specific one called superoxide dismutase. And it's neutralized. I am a resident nerd.
We're gonna adopt Sera to the science nerd.
And those of y'all that have heard me teach know that, yes, I am very much a nerd too. But really, superoxide is one of the most damaging free radicals. We do not want superoxide ravaging our bodies. There's a lot of not good things that could happen. And so the antioxidant that is specifically good at neutralizing superoxide is superoxide dismutase, SOD, and our NingXia wolfberry, our NingXia Red is packed with SOD. It's amazing. And so we have lots of medical studies, and Young Living has done some studies with NingXia Red. Make sure you go to the Young Living website, search NingXia Red, and scroll down and click on science, and up comes lots of, even some of the newest studies is all linked there on Young Living's website. And there's so much that we can learn. But for all of those reasons, it's an important part of our everyday healthy lifestyle.
Yeah. And in season 1, we did a specific episode on a science-specific episode on NingXia Red. So if you can go back and find that science episode, you can get a in-depth view of some of the science that Young Living has done, some of the studies, and a lot of the health benefits too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, that was one of the things also that I put on my loyalty rewards order. And, we talked last episode a lot about loyalty rewards. Make sure you get on loyalty rewards. Some of you got started with it, and that's wonderful, because you're going to get points back towards purchasing, more things, getting things for free, more of those things that you need for your health and wellness. But NingXia Red was definitely on my first order and continues to be.
I'd like to speak into that, because when I started, I was on a very tight budget. I was, my husband, ex now, was not on board. And so we had to negotiate a very small amount to spend on oils every month. So I was being very careful about what I ordered. And I ordered NingXia Red right away because I'd heard such great testimonies about NingXia Red, especially from your mom. And so I was ordering it. But as I was, juggling budget as I had to back at the time, I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll take the NingXia off this time and get some other things that I've had my eye on. And because we had been taking NingXia, but I didn't see the rainbow change or anything at the time. But what I didn't know is that it was happening gradually, because when we got off of it, that is when I saw the difference. Our energy levels dropped. I was homeschooling my kids. Our homeschool started going extra nutso, and I was like, oh no, that's gotta stay. That's gotta stay on the
non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable. NingXia Red is a non-negotiable even to this day. I have to have it on. It starts there, and then I add from there. And so I may play with a lot of other things, and I'll stretch my other supplements maybe longer, but my NingXia has to stay.
You're making me want to drink it.
Right?
Okay, well, let's go ahead. I mean,
On that note.
On that note.
My first thought when I wake up is, I can't wait to go back to bed.
I get that. I'm already tired tomorrow. I definitely should have enjoyed sleeping way more in my 20s. I'm Talia.
And I'm Wendy.
And this is
a
a Science Highlight.
Whoa, you look better.
Thanks. I just took one of these amazing little tubes of Nitro. Did you know that the number 2 top-selling dietary supplement in the U.S. is energy drinks?
No way. Those are so unhealthy and full of terrible ingredients.
Yeah. So I'm glad we have a great option with Nitro. It is packed full of great ingredients, good for cognitive alertness, mental fitness, and supports overall physical performance.
What's in it that makes it so effective? I mean, I could really use a pick-me-up to help me with energy and concentration, especially about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, I'm glad you asked. Here, why don't you try one of these while we chat about it? Feeling better?
Yeah.
Great, let's get into the ingredients. Our first ingredient is D-ribose. This is an ATP builder. ATP is essential for every function in the body, including thinking, breathing, pumping blood, and firing neurons. ATP is basically the money in your body bank.
Next up is Korean ginseng. Rich in antioxidants, ginseng protects the brain, fights fatigue, increases energy levels, and may even help keep blood sugar at healthy levels. One study found that regular consumption of ginseng over a period of 5 years was associated with improved cognitive function later in life, and another study showed that it significantly improved working memory.
green tea extract is next, and it's a natural source of caffeine. Although the amount of caffeine contained in one tube of Nitro is about 30 milligrams, which is less than a third of the average cup of coffee. But if you're sensitive to caffeine, this may be one that you don't take after lunchtime. It's also high in antioxidants and has been shown that it has protective benefits for the brain, heart, and liver, and it can help to control appetite. B vitamins are also on the list, specifically B3, 6, 9, and 12. B3 is great for your heart, circulation, and energy production. B6 is great for heart health, brain health, and specifically good for neurotransmitter production. That's how your brain sends and receives all of its messages.
B9 or folate is good for your cells, DNA synthesis, red blood cells, and the body's ability to use and transport iron, and it's critical for pregnant mamas. B12 enables energy production, cellular health, iron and folate uptake, and protects your cardiovascular system and nerve cells. And let's not forget about choline. This micronutrient is necessary for nerve function and brain development, muscle movement, liver function, and neurotransmitters.
There certainly is lots of good brain food in Nitro. One more not so well-known ingredient in Nitro is iodine. Iodine is an essential trace element needed most commonly for your thyroid. It's estimated that almost 50% of the world's population, including children, are iodine deficient.
Yep, it was such an epidemic that now most table salt has added iodine. Unfortunately, with the popularization of low-salt diets, many people are still short in the recommended daily intake.
Speaking of intake, adults need about 150 micrograms of iodine a day, and Nitro has about 75 micrograms per tube, making it an excellent addition to your supplement routine.
Lastly, Nitro has a proprietary blend of ingredients called the Alert Blend and includes vanilla, chocolate, yerba mate, spearmint, peppermint, nutmeg, and black pepper. This powerhouse blend packs a 1-2 punch.
It sure does. And not only that, it supports healthy adrenals and healthy regulation of your fight or flight system, which a lot of times gets stuck in the on position. And for those of us who are using lots of stress in our life, we have blue light from screens and have demanding jobs. I don't know about you, but I am definitely adding this to my monthly loyalty order before my get up and go gets up and leaves.
Oh, and add a box for me too.
Sure will.
Hello everyone, welcome to From Scratch. And I have Talia here in my kitchen with me. Hey Talia.
Hi.
Okay, I'm so excited that you're gonna teach us how to make these NingXia Red gummies.
Yes.
Because I've heard about them so much. I know everybody that makes them and I've not ever attempted them before. But I'm a visual learner. I need to see it being done. So thank you for coming and
You're welcome.
Making these for us. So what do we do?
Okay, so this is super simple. This is actually a great recipe for you to do with your kids in the kitchen because, I mean, unless you're a big kid at heart, you're probably making these for your kids. Anyway, so.
Oh, I'm a big kid at heart.
Yes, so I had to do a little troubleshooting the first time I did this because gelatin can be troublesome if you've never done it before. So the easiest way to do this is to actually so what we're gonna need is NingXia. You're gonna need juice. Now you can do like orange juice or apple juice. Use whatever juice. You can use cherry juice because if you know NingXia has cherry juice and blueberry juice and pomegranate juice. So any juice that's gonna complement NingXia is going to be good. So take this take this as a grain of salt. You can make this for your own. We pre-did some, and what I actually did was I actually used local elderberry juice. It's pre-sweetened, and it's added extra immune boost. So, but you can use anything you want. Don't feel like you have to use exactly this. So what I did for this recipe is I did 1 cup of NingXia Red, and I did 1 cup of juice. Your chosen juice. So we did elderberry. And what you're gonna do is you're going to add your NingXia to a little saucepan and you're gonna sprinkle in your gelatin. Now, for the 2 cups of liquid, we did I actually did 4 tablespoons of gelatin, which was a little too much. So I would recommend 3 tablespoons of gelatin for 2 cups of liquid.
Okay, now what kind of gelatin are you looking for?
Okay.
I know that we have a couple of things sitting here.
Yes, so gelatin is basically just protein. So, I mean, obviously you want to get something that's organic, grass-fed. This is my preference, is the Great Lakes gelatin. It's grass-fed beef. And so it's, doesn't have a lot of additives or, junk that they feed the cows. So this is a good, and it's kosher. This is from Kosher Beef Hide. So it's kosher for the people who like that. Yeah. You can also, if you're a vegan or vegetarian, you can also use agar, which is a little bit different, and I'm not 100% familiar with it, but it is a substitute. So if that's something that, you use in your kitchen, you probably are familiar with it. So 1 cup of NingXia in the saucepan. Add your gelatin cold. So put the gelatin in cold and whisk it, because what happens is when you add gelatin to hot liquid, it sticks together and clumps. Okay. So you don't want that, because then it gets clumpy in your pan and you're like whisking forever. So add it cold and then heat it up gently, and right before it gets to boiling. So you don't kind of almost, when it starts to like steam, but it's not boiling yet, turn it off.
Okay.
When gelatin gets to boiling, it starts to break down and it won't set as well. So right before it boils, turn it off, add your juice. Now you could do this with your juice too if you would prefer to flip-flop, heat your juice and not your NingXia, that's fine too. And then so you're gonna take that off the stove and then stir in your juice, whether it be elderberry, orange, whatever. And at this point, you're gonna add your sweetener as well. So we did not add sweetener to these because the elderberry already had honey.
Okay.
So for this recipe, again, 2 cups of liquid, 3 tablespoons of gelatin, and if you were gonna do that amount, about 2 tablespoons of honey would be sufficient. And then these are cute little molds. So I bought these little molds, and this is how they come out. So it's just like you just take the little dropper and you just fill them up. You stick them on a pan and put it in your refrigerator and let it set we let these set for overnight, but an hour is totally fine. And then you get to just pop them out.
Okay, and these are dinosaurs.
These are dinosaurs, yes.
Oh my goodness.
If you don't have molds, you guys, you don't have to do molds. You can put it in a clear pan or any pan and just stick the whole...
They're so cute.
Stick the little pan in there and then just take a knife and cut it into little squares and put that that in a jar.
Okay, so then you just pop them out. And so you made a whole bunch of these. You made did you make bears?
So we have bears.
And dinosaurs. This is Elisa's favorite. So, okay, one of my daughters is getting her degrees and everything. She's gonna be a paleontologist. Yeah. And so this is our favorite dinosaur, and so I'm gonna eat this one.
Is it? Oh, it's a Triceratops.
Yeah, Triceratops.
And look at the bears. If you turn it around, it looks like an oil bottle. I did that on purpose.
That's what I thought. They were oil bottles until she popped them out.
They're bears.
Like, oh, it's a bear.
They're bears.
Okay, so I can taste it?
Mm-hmm. They're really good.
Oh my word, they're so good. Oh, you would totally. It doesn't matter if you have kids or not.
No, you totally eat them.
What a great snack. Can I have more?
Yeah, you can have as many as you want.
Okay.
So these particular ones are about 3/4 of a teaspoon for each one. So if I don't necessarily know if this is a great way to get your daily intake of NingXia, but it's really good if you've got, a kid feeling under the weather or whatever. You put your oils in this. You can put extra oils. You can put Cassia. You can put frankincense. You can put whatever you want in these, and then when they solidify, they can just eat them throughout the day. These will last.
And they're a fun little treat.
They are
my
fun.
word. I mean, who
these
like
will
to
last.
Eat gummies?
These will last. I mean, a few weeks in your refrigerator.
So instead of my kids asking for the little gummy treats when we are watching a movie.
Yep.
They have those at movies and at the theaters.
Yeah.
But we'll watch a movie and they want a little snack. These are a healthier snack.
Excellent.
And I keep eating them.
Yeah.
And they're so good.
And it's a good way to get your NingXia.
Well, thank you, Talia.
You're
Finally,
welcome.
I know how to make the NingXia gummies.
Super easy.
After all this time.
The kicker is to put your gelatin in cold.
Put it in cold.
Cold liquid.
Okay, got it. We got it. And if you need this recipe, just look in the description here on the show. We've got all the details on how to make the NingXia gummies. Well, thank you, Talia.
You're welcome. Super fun.
Thanks for watching, y'all. We can drink some, but how about the rest of y'all?
Well, while you guys are
drinking your NingXia, since I've already had some, I really was a little slower to get on the NingXia train just from a budget standpoint. But once I started, like Beverly said, we haven't looked back. And my husband at the time really enjoyed carbonated beverages with high fructose corn syrup. I'm not going to name any brand names, but one in particularly he had to have if he was eating Mexican food. And so what happened over time is he was drinking NingXia Red. I wasn't buying the sodas, and so he wasn't getting it. And one day at work, he's a teacher. He had one of those sodas in the break room at the teacher's lunch, and he said it tasted nasty. And I was like, yes, because it was changing his taste buds. He was starting to we made a change in 2006 in our family, and so when he started drinking the NingXia Red, it was changing his taste buds. It was changing the nutritional desires that he even had. And what was really amazing to me, because I had my daughter in 2006, so she's kind of grown up in Young Living, but 5 years ago, when we were fostering and went towards adoption, the 2 little ones that we brought into our home really needed additional nutritional support. And at the beginning, they did not like the taste of NingXia Red. But I was consistent with it. We have our little shot glasses. Don't tell my children what shot glasses are really for, because they think they're for NingXia Red. But it's just a little at a time. My son, I still water his down in an actual cup. And what was amazing is now over time, in about 3 months, I had this little, she was 3 at the time, say, I need more NingXia. I want more NingXia. And I say, well, how much water have you had today? And she'd take a sip of water and she'd go, I need more NingXia. So it became something that I believe I saw it in my husband, I saw it in these little kids, that it was changing their nutrition. It was changing, their body was craving NingXia Red and craving the good things. And isn't that what we want to do? So even if you have picky eaters, if you have people in your home that you're starting a new lifestyle, but NingXia Red can assist you in helping to make that change smoother.
That's where we were at when we started with Young Living. We had made a lot of nutritional changes, but I had some super picky eaters, and one of them was our oldest daughter, and she would hardly eat any vegetables or fruits, and I was just really trying to, change her health, and it started with the food. And so when we brought in NingXia Red, she actually liked it. She didn't like any other kind of juice. No pulp-free orange juice, fresh squeezed, whatever. She didn't like any of that, but she actually liked the NingXia Red. And I was like, oh my word. So I gave that to her every day. And after a handful of months, I remember one day she said, Mom, I need a snack. I want some carrots. And I'm like, wait, who are you? Like, who is this child? But her body, I really believe that all the power pack nutrients in NingXia Red with the NingXia wolfberry, and there's pomegranate, and there's grapeseed extract, and there's, acerola cherry. There's so many just power packed juices full of nutrients. It helped her cells begin to crave more of God's good food. And I didn't think that there was anything that would help me get her on a healthy track and really actually wake her taste buds up, really is what it was. Wake her taste buds up to good whole foods. And NingXia was a huge factor in that. And so, anybody else?
I was gonna say, I know young like it, but also older like it. My grandmother is 93 years old and she takes this every day. And the other day, she even called me up and said, I'm out of NingXia, do you have any for me? And she likes the packets because they're easy for her to open and to be able to drink. But she's also one that does not like water. Okay, sorry, Oma, just told on you. But she will take this and she will mix it with her water, or she'll mix it with some juice or what have you. But she just, she has to have this. And this is on her ER order, because I do her ER order every month. So it's on her ER order. And I was gonna say, she also, I don't know, when you get older, this happens sometimes too, where you forget to take your supplements. And so this is kind of a reminder for her, because she's like, Amanda, when I take my NingXia, then I know to take all the other things, right? Yes. So this is a really cool reminder for her. Plus, she craves it now. And because of that, she now eats, healthier, or it's in her mind now for her to eat healthier, and her body just loves that. So yeah, 93 years old and taking NingXia every day.
Oh, yeah.
There's some people that maybe they're newer to a healthy lifestyle, and they start drinking some NingXia and have to go to the bathroom a lot. So if there's some people that's like, oh, I don't know if I could take NingXia, it's just wanting to flush me out so much. Well, you know what? You can go low and slow with NingXia Red too. You can get some water and just do, half a tablespoon or a full tablespoon. And sip on that through the day. Add some more, and work your way up to getting your 2 ounces. At least, 2 ounces a day is great. Sometimes we need more. Sometimes we do need more than that. But some people do kind of go low and slow. And I remember when Ethan, after we had Ethan, we'd already been in Young Living for a few years. Ethan was a baby, and I can't remember 4 or 5 months old. I will say that I gave him a little bit of NingXia. I had a little water and just a little bit of NingXia because I wanted him to stay nice and strong and healthy. Because there was his siblings, we're dealing with some things. But I just did a little NingXia and just a little bit of NingXia and a little bit of water. And oh my word, he loved it. He's 15 now, and every day he's got to have his NingXia Red. So it's something that, you just miss it when you don't have it.
Yeah. And you don't have to miss it because we travel with these.
Yeah, that's right.
We take them everywhere we go. We make sure that we've got them. And we, especially during the summer when it's hot, you have to be prepared, because on the way down here, there weren't a lot of healthy places for me to stop and eat. So I was chugging my NingXia and to be able to make sure my cells were good and I was staying awake. And I will tell you on the digestion part too, when a few years ago, it's been more than a few years ago, when they had the first men's camp, and I know Darren and my husband Jonathan went with Young Living and Gary Young. Gary invited all the men out to Tabiona, Utah, and there was free-flowing NingXia Red. But unfortunately, the lodge there at the Tabiona farm was not quite prepared plumbing-wise for all of these men and their NingXia Red. But let's just say everybody was happy.
Everybody felt lighter.
They did feel lighter. They just floated across the farm.
No, but and I was gonna say it's also great for that mid-afternoon slump that you might get, because this is very high in protein for compared to any other fruit that you might take in. I want to say it's by weight, it is the highest protein you can get in a fruit. So when you take this, that protein helps to stabilize your blood sugar and helps keep you from dipping and crashing in the afternoon. So it's really, really great for that 2 o'clock afternoon.
That's right.
Yeah. Instead of coffee or caffeine, a Coke or whatever, take this instead.
It does have the amino acids, all the amino acids in it. Right. And speaking of not having that slump, that's how my husband Darren, he experienced NingXia Red for all the months that we'd been drinking it, probably 4 or 5 months, and then I ran out and we were waiting for some NingXia, and at first, after a few months, he was like, I don't know if this is doing anything for me. And so, but then a few months later, we run out and he's like, oh man, I'm getting sleepy in the afternoon. It's the NingXia. We got to get our NingXia back. And so from that point, he was like, he doesn't ever want to be out without it.
I think it's no secret that you and I are both NingXia Red lovers. And any way we can get wolfberries into our day is a win. So let's talk a little bit about pro tips about how we love to get NingXia Red or wolfberries just in general, because we know we've talked about how much zeaxanthin it has. You talk about the science of NingXia Red all the time and how phenomenal it is, but the amount of protein that wolfberries have, the fiber, all the good things that it has, everyone should be drinking NingXia Red every day. So these packets, I of course love the loyalty bundle for NingXia Red because it's the most cost-effective way to purchase NingXia Red per ounce. But these packets are super handy.
Yes, the 2 bottles or 4 bottles, however you like to get them. They're really great, but the packets are so convenient to travel, to slip in your purse or the diaper bag or wherever. And
Or
so
slip in the freezer.
or slip in the freezer.
Yes.
Okay, so for my kiddos, when they were little, you know, if they weren't feeling the very best, one thing that not only was gonna be health beneficial for them and their immune system, but it was gonna cheer them up, is a little NingXia slushy. And so we would slip these little packets in the freezer, and then when it was time to eat one, clip the top off, cut the top off, and just kind of squish them up. And they love to, you know, eat these like a little slushy. So there's a pro tip for you.
I like to eat them like that.
Me too.
And especially
Put
this
your-
time, and when it's summer and you're hot outside, you just need a little something. When they're completely frozen, in about 30 minutes, they'll be ready.
Yeah.
They'll thaw out.
So just keep a bunch in the freezer. That's a really good thing. Now, another thing too is so funny today in production, I've seen little NingXia packets everywhere, and they're all curled up and rolled up because when we're drinking them, we want to get every little last drop out. We don't want anything to go to waste. And so you had a tip on how to get the very last bit of NingXia
Yes.
out of your NingXia packet.
Well, I saw this one time. Your sister Hannah, my sister-in-law Hannah, and this isn't going to fit.
It's not gonna
but
fit.
She put straws in her NingXia packets for her
Okay,
kids.
tell everybody this. I'm gonna grab some little ones.
Yeah, so
Keep talking.
If you have little kids and you want to make sure that sometimes NingXia packets are a little hard to maneuver. I know I've handed my kids a NingXia packet before in the car and you're a little nervous about it. But look at this. Look at these little stainless steel straws, or you can use any kind of straw that you want. It's a small hole there, and then you just put it down in there, and then, delicious. You're getting all these swallowing and mouth noises on the audio there.
Yeah, and you know what I'm seeing on your straw?
What's that?
It has the Young Living logo on it. And so I'm reminded that sometimes Young Living will have gifts with purchase for free, or sometimes something special for sale that you can put in your loyalty rewards order. And yeah, I forgot about these, but I had them in my drawer. Young Living makes amazing things. But yes, you
And
get the
look.
very last bit. Okay, great noises.
Oh, audio
for
man
the
is
audio
loving
guy.
this part. So right there, but if you don't have a straw, look at that. The straw came out clean too. If you don't have a straw, this is a great tip. You've got a hole there. Reinflate it.
Every last bit.
Every drop. And then accordion style. Hey,
That's how they look around my house. They're like all rolled up. But hey,
if
everybody's
you
getting
cut
the
this
last
sucker open, it'd be dry.
bit. It would be dry.
And don't we want every last drop?
Every last drop. Now, speaking of things that are dry, we have our NingXia wolfberries that Young Living has. You can buy these in the bag. And so, Laura,
They're crunchy.
and chewy in a salad. But you make some really great recipes with the NingXia wolfberries, and they're plump and stuff. So what are you doing? Are you
Okay, so to take them this way, because they are grown sustainably in China. It's volcanic ash. It's the best place for them to grow. So that's where Young Living gets the
Yes.
wolfberry in the NingXia province
And
in
they're
China.
high in fiber, so they are a little tough. So do you have a tip
Well,
for us?
Well, the cool thing is if you put them in, you can eat them raw. Putting them in a parfait is really delicious with a little yogurt if you need them to kind of soften a little bit, but they added another dimension. Then these are reconstituted, you can also call it rehydrated. These have only been rehydrating for like less than 30 minutes, and you can already see that they're starting to plump up just in comparison. The color is being retained. So when it comes to rehydrating, it doesn't have to be complicated, just equal parts of water and wolfberries, or if you don't want to get out your measuring cups, you don't have to. Just cover the top, make sure it's covered in water. And then for these right here, and then with these, they're soft enough that you can put them in, you can drain it, drink the juice, or put the juice in your garden if you want to. But you could put this in bread batter. If you want to make, instead of like a cinnamon raisin bread, you could do a wolfberry bread or muffins or whatever you're going to do in baking. So it's reconstituted in the batter. You want them to be reconstituted. In this situation over here, this is from, I actually put them in the crock pot overnight to make a wassail. And so these are even softer, and they will start to kind of disintegrate and come apart, but you can see how plump it is. So this is maybe like 30 minutes.
Oh my word.
This is, but they're very flavorful because I had them in there with some apple cider and a wassail. And so that can even, you could even take those if you have extra left over from your wassail and throw those into a batter or into muffins or something to just continue to get every little last bit out of your wolfberries because they're so nutritionally valuable.
Thank you, Laura. Lots of great
Sera.
pro tips.
I'm Laura,
And I'm Max.
and we're Farm Junkies, and we're here at the Mona Distillery in Mona, Utah, and we have Brett Packer and Chris Packer, and they're going to tell us their specific roles in Young Living and why they're two of the most important people, I think, for our farms.
My name's Brett Packer. I'm the executive director of Young Living Farms, and so Chris and I work with the farms around the world with our farm managers, our brand partner events in the distillery, and the farms and harvest events.
And I'm Chris Packer. I'm over all of the analytical laboratories, quality control, research and development of all of our oil supply chain, and then work close together with all the farm managers, and then also our analytical laboratories on our farms.
So Brett, how many years have you been working Young Living stuff? I know you started at a very humble beginning.
Yeah, 15 years ago at the finca when it was first being developed in Ecuador. $10 an hour working with Gary.
And how about you, Chris? When did you start?
A year later, but I started $11 an hour in St. Mary's, Idaho.
Yeah.
So I started there hoeing weeds, working in the distillery, 24 hours with Gary doing the winter harvest. And then transferred to Ecuador. So Brett and I switched places.
Well, one of my fond memories with Brett, I went to spring planting one year. I was the only Young Living member there, and Brett and I planted trees for a week. I thought it was going to be like winter harvest, so I wore all of my winter gear. I got up there, it was 85 degrees. Brett didn't tell me to dress down, but we worked all week planting trees.
Yeah, it was, normally that time of year would be maybe 65, and there was that year, it was 80 in the spring.
Yeah.
And it was just you and I planting
It's us.
trees every day, sun up till sundown.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was awesome.
Developed a great relationship.
Yeah, and that's that was a one-on-one, and then we've been able to meet your team, your family, do winter harvest, and so yeah. But then we really truly got to know each other.
That's right.
I got to know what you were made of, Max.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, it was
most of the time.
My favorite spring planting memory was actually being in the field with people I didn't know, recognizing that Young Living had brought us all together, and going back every year and getting to see those trees. Why is it so important for members to come to the farms and be a part of these things?
Well, I'd say a really simple game we all know called Connect the Dots. And so when you participate in the care we take of our soils, even down to the microbial level, and then you see how that brings nutrients for healthy plants, healthy trees. And then, you're part of the harvest, you're part of the distillation, you're with Chris and his team, you see the lab analytics to the usage of the oil. You're going all the way to the care of the earth to the outcomes you have with the oils. So how about connect the dots? Is that too simple?
Absolutely, I love it. So, Chris, same kind of question. One of my favorite pictures of you is with Gary and Dr. Casablanca in the lab. Working with those guys and doing the type of work you do, what does that mean from a longevity standpoint? They started us. What are we doing to continue that and move forward into the future?
Yeah, so working with Gary and Dr. Casablanca, it taught me a lot, and to add to what Brett was saying, the importance of having, connecting the dots, and one of those key portions is seeing the laboratory. The expense that Gary went to have an analytical laboratory in all of our corporate farms, and to continue to analyze and develop the database of each and every essential oils. And the main benefit of that is you're seeing real-time testing, so we know that we're harvesting at the optimal time for yield, chemistry, for each and every one of our plants. And we continue that through the distillation process. So to answer that, I mean, this is what Gary started, and we've just continued it. And when we're looking for new oils or anything, we're just continuing that process that he taught us.
Hello again, friends. Do you times some struggle with brain bog? Maybe your mind feels cluttered, like a drawer full of empty essential oil bottles, waiting for a chance to be repurposed. Find your purpose today and relax your mind with peace and calming, YLEO. Try this with me. Rub 1 to 2 drops of your favorite essential oil in your hands. Cup them over your nose and breathe in 3 times. Now, release those negative emotions and replace them with positive words like, yes, yes, I can. I am capable. I choose peace. I give grace. I forgive. All better.
Can I share something about Nitro?
Yes, let's move on to Nitro.
No, let's talk Nitro. And you think Nitro, the word Nitro kind of sounds like you're going to be super revved up, super out the door. But I will tell you that this is something it's Nitro for your brain. So it's not so much that this isn't a healthy version of some energy drink. This is cognitive function necessity for my family. And having a person in my home who's neurodiverse, I knew that vitamin B would be really crucial for him and his brain. And at first I was a little concerned, would it ramp him up too much? But I've been pleasantly surprised of the way that an everyday Nitro has been amazing for our homeschool, for my child, and working with him is different whenever he's had vitamin B, and this has vitamin B3, B6, and B12, and so having that niacin and brain function is super critical, but also it's calming for him. And I know that we heard the word Nitro and calm; they seem to be kind of opposites, but really, what I've seen, and for those of you who have families people in your family who are neurodiverse, or you love someone who's neurodiverse, vitamin B12, that family is really crucial for their brain health. Absolutely. In addition to the other proprietary blends, the oil blends, there's other things we're going to talk about, but I have found that this has been amazing. So if you love somebody on the autism spectrum, I highly recommend this. This is something that my daughter, who's going to be starting doing brain training, is taking as well, in addition to her omegas. But highly, highly recommend it for cognitive function.
Yes, so. Nitro. That's cognitive fitness is what it says on the box, and it has just so many great nutrients. We're actually going to be doing a science highlight on Nitro, so be watching for that soon. I think it might be this episode. And so we're going to learn so much about it. But yes, it has the B vitamins in it. It has some wolfberry seed oil, which is unique to Nitro. It's got chocolate oil, oh my word. And it's got a little bit of green tea in it. And so there's a little bit of naturally occurring caffeine, but really your energy is going to come from those B vitamins. And so it's focus for your brain. For me, when I take this, I can have so many tasks to do. And sometimes I feel a little overwhelmed if I'm supposed to be multitasking or needing to do so many things. This helps me to focus, to get this done, now this done, now this done. And I'm so much more productive after having my Nitro. And so I know everybody's holding their Nitro and we want to drink it. It tastes so yummy. There's some cherry juice in here too.
Ginseng.
Some ginseng. So many good things for your brain. What?
The D ribosome.
Chocolate.
And,
Did you say chocolate?
I think you said chocolate.
Yeah,
And look,
And iodine for the thyroid. That's, oh my gosh.
And you think about how important vitamin B is, but it's for anyone, especially maybe somebody who doesn't enjoy taking a tablet or a capsule. And Nitro is a really good alternative.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And for my kids, before when they're doing any type of sport and needing to focus, or focusing on a test, before they take a test, I'll let them have a Nitro. My boys want a Nitro every day, all the time. And I'm like, do you really need it today? But I'm like, okay, fine. Go ahead and have it. And it's like, some people might think that their preteens will be bouncing off the walls. No, it's like this so laser focused effect that it has. And this is actually my husband's favorite Young Living product is Nitro. And it's been very crucial for him after he had a massive brain injury about 3 years ago. And so Nitro was part of his healthy brain supportive regimen. And we will never be without it.
Amen. Amen.
We always have so much.
My husband, when we first got those, I told him what they were, and he was like, oh, okay, whatever, and he just wasn't sure. And so he went to go clean the garage, and my husband he really likes to clean, but when he gets out there, sometimes I come out there and he's like, he found a model airplane, and he's like, putting it together, and so distracted, right, yeah. Right. So he goes, oh, let me have one of those. So he did it, and literally it was a couple hours later, I went out and it was like, oh, wow. And he's like, put those on your order. That was great, So, but he really now every month he literally says at least one box has to be on that order because it helps him through his day, helps him at work, helps him everything now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Awesome. Anybody else? Who else loves their Nitro?
Oh, I love Nitro. We do a lot of car trips, or I do a lot of car trips. I drove here, and I always have Nitro in my purse. I always have Nitro in my console.
Me too.
I'll drink it hot. I don't even need, mine doesn't need to be refrigerated. I'll just drink it hot. But we always have it. I always have it. And so anytime that I'm like driving, you only need one.
Yeah.
Trust me. I did 2 one time. I thought, I'm gonna do 2 because I'm driving into the night and whatever. I did the second one and I was like, you only need 1. The second one I was like, I am so awake. I wasn't like jittery or anything like that.
You don't have jitters.
I was like, 1 would have been sufficient.
Yeah. There's no jitters, no crash afterwards, because we're not talking about energy from sugar, from, high caffeine or whatever. And so for me, I can do 2. I can do 2.
See how I respond. I've had 2 in the last 15 minutes, so we'll just see how I do. I'm good. Totally good.
Let's just say before we started, Laura was dancing all over the place. Now she's really focused. She's super focused. But anyway, we all love our Nitro and our NingXias. So, if you got started in Young Living and you got these products, try it out every day. It's really great to do like a 90-day challenge.
Oh, yeah.
For 90 days, do 2 ounces of NingXia Red a day at least, and 1 Nitro every day for 90 days. You are going to feel amazing. You are going to feel vibrant and alive and able to tackle whatever tasks that you have to do at your job, in your home, whatever you need to do. It's, goodness sakes, there's people that are sleeping better because of their NingXia Red. There's people that just feel stronger and healthier. Some people are dropping some pounds with their NingXia Red, doing NingXia Red challenges. And so there's so many benefits to these amazing products. And so use them every day. You're going to love them. Yeah. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for watching That Oil Show. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you can catch new episodes every first Tuesday of the month. And if you enjoyed learning about these amazing products and want some of your own, reach out to the person who shared That Oil Show with you.